Hi guys, my name is Kirsty. Welcome back to Upside Down Books. Today I'm going to be doing my 2020 bookshelf tour, and it's taking a really long time to film. As it turns out, I've got nearly double the amount of stuff to go through as I did in 2019, but that's largely due to the fact that I only did one of my bookshelves last year. So this year there is so much to look at. We have my big bookshelf behind me as we went through last year for 2019, but I have acquired nearly 100 new books. Not that we're going to talk about that because that sounds outrageous since I did my last bookshelf tour, so we're going to go through all of this today, and I have obviously rearranged it several times since that video, and that's always exciting to see. But I have not only this bookshelf behind me, but another 1x4 which is over here, and another 2x4 which is next to me just here, plus my big bookshelf which is in my other room. So I'm going to stop talking, we're going to head straight into it, and I may have to split this into two videos, but we will see. Over on this side we've got my Barnes & Noble classics, so all of those except Great Expectations I've read and loved, and that's why I collect them. And then I have all of my hardbacks currently sitting on top of my bookshelves right now, so moving along, and then also my Throne of Glass collection. So I will start at the very top with these. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Cities of the World by George Braun and Franz Hogenberg, or something like that. Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons, The Night Manager by John le Carré, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. The special jacket just has a lot of quotes on it. The Dollmaker of Krakow by R.M. Romero, Virgins by Diana Gabaldon, The Binding by Bridget Collins, Leviathan by Scott Westerfield, the special edition of Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and of course the special edition of Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo as well. Mutiny on the Bounty by Peter Fitzsimons, Chatter Me by Tahara Murphy, A Dress for the Wicked by Autumn Krauss, Words on Fire by Jennifer A. Nielsen, The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ardier, The Magician by Michael Scott, The Wish Granter by C.J. Redwine, Everland by Wendy Spinell, Roseblood by A.G. Howard, then Sinner, Forever, Linger, and Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater, American Gods by Neil Gaiman, and this is the illustrated edition, King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and Another Thing by Ian Colfer, Tiger's Destiny by Colleen Houck, Ink Death by Cornelia Funk, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, and then I've got this little itty bitty version of The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, with a couple of old illustrations in it, like that. Then we have my Throne of Glass series, which consists of Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. Okay, so next we're going to work our way down this particular part of the shelf, which consists of all of my arcs and a few other ones, before we go on to the main section of the first shelf, because yes, we have a lot of shelves to go through. Dear Mrs. Bird by A.J. Pierce, Rain the Earth by A.C. Gotham, The Three of Us by Kim Locke, The Greek Escape by Karen Swan, The Queen's Tiger by Peter Watt, Esther by Jessica North, Missing in Action by Marianne Van Velzen, Love and Other Consolation Prizes by Jamie Ford, Give Me Your Hands by Megan Abbott, In a Great Southern Land by Marianne Connor, Hellship by Michael Veitch, The Confession by Jessie Burton, The Warehouse by Rob Hart, Wild by Nathan Besser, and The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi, Into the World by Stephanie Parkin, The Sister's Song by Louise Allen, Painter to the King by Amy Sackville, Ghosted by Rosie Walsh, The Glovemaker by Anne Weisgarber, Women to the Front by Heather Sheard and Ruth Lee, A Life of Her Own by Fiona McCallum, The Stolen Marriage by Diane Chamberlain, The Age of Light by Whitney Scherer, The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, The Christmas Party by Karen Swan, Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro and Cornelia Funk, Something to Tell You by Lucy Diamond, The Spanish Promise by Karen Swan, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. There was another book in this space called The Last Day by someone Murray, but I'm currently reading it and I cannot be bothered getting it, so just pretend that one's there. On a Beautiful Day by Lucy Diamond, The Clergyman's Wife by Molly Greeley, Jane in Love by Rachel Givney. There's also another book here called Agency, and I'm also reading that one because I'm having a period of time where I'm just sort of reading a lot of books at once, so again, pretend that one's there. The Guernseyan Literary Potato Peel... I didn't get it before it fell over. The Guernseyan Literary Potato Peel Pie Society by Marianne Schaffer and Annie Barrows, Even If I Fall by Abigail Johnson, 29 Dates by Melissa Dela Cruz, The Good Thieves by Catherine Rundell, Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson and Ellen Hagen, The Honeyman and the Hunter by Neil Grant, Gifted, the Talented and Me by William Sutcliffe, Call It What You Want by Bridget Kemmerer, Actually, now that I'm looking at that, I really feel like reading this. The Wren Hunt by Mary Watson. This is not the final cover of this book. This is actually a special cover, I do believe, because it's an uncorrected proof, so fancy that. Book of 1,000 Days by Shannon Hale. And The Start of You and Me by Emery Lord. Okay, these ones are no longer arcs. These are just an overspill of books, because I didn't actually have enough arcs to fill up a whole single tier of bookshelf. Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold by Terry Brooks. His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. Murder in the Mews by Agatha Christie. Hickory Dickory Dock by Agatha Christie. Sleeping Murder by Agatha Christie. Evernight by Claudia Gray. Ensnared by A.G. Howard. Terrier by Tamara Pierce. The Architect of Song by A.G. Howard. Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes. Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. Wolf by Ryan Groudon. Foray of the Exiles by Melina Marchetta, which is absolutely mammoth and I don't know if I'm ever going to read that. March by Geraldine Brooks. And Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Okay, so we're now down the bottom of my main big Pigeons bookshelf. So we are going to work our way up slowly, starting from the bottom, working our way along, and then slowly going up each level and working our way across. So let's get going. Jump by Sean Williams. Stormcrow by Kaylin Josephson. Kaylin Josephson. Furyborn by Claire Legrand. The Beautiful by Renee Ardier. City of 1,000 Dolls by Miriam Forster. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I really need to get rid of this. I'm really not going to read such a mammoth and boring sounding classic. Maybe that'll be gone by next bookshelf tour. Vanity Fair by William Peace Thackeray. David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Days of Blood and Starlight and Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Salvation by Peter F. Hamilton. Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. And Toffee by Sarah Crossan. You can just make out there's some books at the back there, but they're all books that need to be donated, so they're not worthy of being in this particular bookshelf tour. Children of Virtue and Vengeance. You cannot see that title in this line. There we go. Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Karen Memory by Elizabeth Bear. My Normal Edition of Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay. Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. Court of Frost and Midnight. A Court of Thorns and Roses. A Court of Mist and Fury. And A Court of Wings and Ruin, which totally doesn't all fit there, but there we go, by Sarah J. Maas. To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. The Shadowed Sun by N.K. Jemisin. The Iron Traitor by Julie Kagawa. And Seraphina by Rachel Harmon. The Lantern's Ember by Colleen Houck. Demon Road by Derek Landy. The Life of Elves by Muriel Barbary. This is actually 2 books in one, but it's called The Commandant's Girl, but there is more. There we are. The Commandant's Girl and The Diplomat's Wife. Hunted by Megan Spooner. These Dark Wings by John Owen Theobald. Wards of Fairy by Terry Brooks. Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. Cast Not the Day by Paul Waters. Travelling to Infinity by Jane Hawking. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. My Dear, I Wanted to Tell You by Louisa Young. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. And Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. The Harp of Kings by Julia Marillier. First Adventure in the Hand of the Goddess. The Woman Who Rides Like a Man. And Lioness Rampant by Timora Pierce. Odalisque by Fiona McIntosh. Homegoing by Yar Gyasi? I don't know. The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. This Is Where the World Ends by Amy Shang. So this is actually a bind-up of the first 2 books in the Song of the Lioness Quartet, which you can see, we've just seen I've got the 4 there, and there is no matching bind-up for the last 2, so I didn't want to have mismatching titles. So I just bought them all again and ended up with another full set, because why not? The Invisible Library, with invisible writing apparently. Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafon. Year of Wonders by Geraldine Brooks. Church of Marvels by Leslie Parry. Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. The Beekeeper's Apprentice by Laurie R. King. Maisie Dobbs by Jacqueline Winspear. Oh, this was hiding at the back. This is The Colour of Magic by Terry Pratchett. The House on Carnival... Oh, okay. The House on Carnival Street by Deborah Rodriguez. And then one of the banished books I've got behind this particular pigeonhole is Whisper of the Tide, which is the sequel to Song of the Current, which is somewhere else on my bookshelf, I'm not sure where. And this is an advanced uncorrected proof as well, which is why it has the funny little strip down the bottom there. The Storyteller's Daughter by Cameron Doki. Arcane by Lynette Noni. The Alchemist by Michael Scott. Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. Clariel by Garth Nix. The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Old Man's War by John Scalzi, Touch of Power by Maria V. Snyder, The Next Together by Lauren James, Persuasion by Jane Austen, Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, The Square Root of Summer by Harriet Rooter Hapgood with pink edges and little love hearts on it, Now I Rise by Kirsten White, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, the paperback version of Tiger's Destiny by Colleen Houck, Illusions of Fate by Kirsten White, Serpent and Dove by Shelby Marie Maharin. I definitely cannot be bothered taking these out of their box. So we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City, and Library of Souls, all in a box set. The Egyptian Book of the Dead. That doesn't even have an author. I'm not sure why I have this book. Pantomime by Laura Lamb, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, Slayer by Kirsten White, Frostfire by Amanda Hocking, Magic Study by Maria V. Snyder, Maybe One Day by Melissa Cantor, Grave Mercy, Dark Triumph, Immortal Heart by Robin Lefevers. And I've just seen that Poison Study is also there but fell down the back. So Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder, Daughter to the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller, This Splintered Silence by Kayla Olson, Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Engen, The Girl Who Saved the King of Sweden by Jonas Jonasson, The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo, Inside Out and Back Again by Thana Lai, The Eyes of a King by Catherine Banner, Bloodfire Quest by Terry Brooks, Tidal and Elegy by Amanda Hocking, The Cold is in Her Bones by Peter Nell Van Arsdale, Unremembered by Jessica Brody, Thief by Megan Whalen Turner, The Last Name Sarah by Kristen Cicerelli, The Girl with the Iron Touch by Katie Cross, Spare and Found Parts by Sarah Maria Griffin, Courting Darkness by Robin Lefevers, Looking for Alaska by John Green, Untamed by A.G. Howard, The Sorceress by Michael Scott, Roma by Stephen Saylor, The Illumination by Jill Gregory and Karen Tintori, The Bone Witch by Rin Chapika, Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovich, Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo, Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han, Across the Universe by Beth Rivers, Cinder by Marissa Meyer, Tiger's Voyage by Colleen Houck, Ruined by Amy Tintera, The Air by Kira Cass, Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Seeker by Owen Ellis Dayton, The Shadow Queen by C.G. Redwine, Seeing Red by Frank Bedder, Nocturna by Maya Matane, Symphony by Jude Morgan, Scythe by Neil Shusterman, Soundless by Richelle Mead, Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, The Declaration by Gemma O'Malley, Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Cowell, Heartless by Melissa Meyer, Tiger's Quest by Colleen Houck, Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri, Dry by Neil Shusterman, Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake, Book of Whispers by Kimberly Stark, Half Bad by Sally Green. Okay, this is going to be a fun shelf to do because I have a bookshelf right here, which means that I can't put my tripod there, so we're going to do it at a bit of an angle. Jigsaw of Fire and Stars by Yaba Bado, Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, A Thousand Nights by E.K. Johnson, Dreamfall by Amy Plum, Bitter Blue by Kristen Cashel, The Beast's Heart by Life Shawcross, Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Barnard, Soulmates by Holly Bourne, State of Sorrow by Melinda Salisbury, Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley, Tiger's Curse by Colleen Houck, Reawakened by Colleen Houck, Prince of Shadows by Rachel Kane, Lullaby by Amanda Hocking, Pure by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Song of the Current by Sarah Tulsa, Stormblast by Maria V. Snyder. Okay, moving up a shelf now, we're finally out of the shadow of the small bookshelf and have a little bit of sunlight, but again, we are still on that funny angle for this pigeonhole. The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbary, Assassin's Apprentice and the Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, The Fig Orchard by Layla Fisk, The Last Falcon by Colleen Rutan, We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler, Landline by Rainbow Rowell, Paper Towns by John Green, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, Recreated by Colleen Houck, All Our Yesterdays by Kristen Terrell, Tiger's Dream by Colleen Houck, The Kabul Beauty School by Deborah Rodriguez, The Potion Diaries by Amy Allwood, Battle of the Sands by Orwin Hamilton, P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, The Penguin Lessons by Tom Mitchell, Outrun the Wind by Elizabeth Temmie, The Light Over London by Julia Kelly, Some Places More Than Others by Renee Watson, The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris, Egg and Spoon by Gregory Maguire, The Silver Witch by Paula Braxton, Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa, The Sidekicks by Will Kostakis, Never Always Sometimes by R.D. Al-Sayed, The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafon, The Sky Is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson, Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, Inside Out by Maria V. Snyder, Wonder by R.J. Palacio, Morning Star by Pierce Brown, Rise of the Arcane Fire by Kristen Bailey, Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, Reunited by Colleen Houck, On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher, which I actually have signed by Carrie herself,
P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, Navigating the Stars by Maria V. Snyder, The Winner's Curse by Marie Rutkowski, The Tapestry or The House of Rowan, I'm not sure which one's the series title and which one's the title, by Henry N. Neff. You Had Me at Hello by Mary McFarlane, To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, The Gargoyle by Andrew Davidson, and that has black edges, Earthquake by Applin Pike, and The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, Stealing Snow by Danielle Page, Between Shades of Grey by Marissa Petties, Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are by Franz de Waal, The Keeper of the Mist by Rachel Neumeier, Archangel by Robert Harris, The Program by Suzanne Young, The Glass Palace by Amitav Ghosh, Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, The Girl at Midnight and The Shadow Hour by Melissa Gray, The Colossus Rises by Peter Larangis, Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini, The Three Musketeers by Alexandra Dumas, The Messenger by Marcus Zusak, Call the Midwife by Jennifer Worth, The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. I'm going to leave the bookshelf tour here for today, and we're going to carry on with a secondary video because it is simply getting too long. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in part 2 of my 2020 bookshelf tour in my next video. Goodbye.